to do,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the world will help. But this war is a lesson for the world about going in and grabbing other people's property.
Mm-hmm.
It is no different than a burglar comes into your house and takes something that is precious to you and leaves.
Yes, I see it that way. Mm-hmm.
It is the same thing. So the people of the world and the people of Russia are learning. They are tired of this. They don't want it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And with this present leader is dead, they will say, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. Why are we doing this anyway? We don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the rest of the world will say, this is exhausting. And it is very expensive.
Yes.
It will be a break and we can work things out, talk before we charge in, we will talk.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been many, many cases already where leaders have gotten together and said, let's talk this out and not fight. Some are private, you don't hear about it, and some you do hear about.
Mm-hmm.
That no, there are no winners in a war, ever, ever.
When you're in the physical on your own planet, do you do anything such as play sports, dance, have
Yes,
sex?
we do. We do. We have music, not quite like yours. We dance, we sing, we play. We are a happy group. And we can leave the planet and go to one of our other planets and be spirit and come back. But there are a lot that live in what you call spaceships.
Mm-hmm.
To us, it's just another home.
Mm-hmm.
And we go around and we visit. We are so much more advanced than here that it is hard to imagine what the kind of life that we live. In another very long time, I'm not good with times, but thousands of years, you too will be able to see what we have. But it will take a long time for space travel, a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It is best that we visit you than you visit us.
Yes. What dimensions of consciousness would Arcturians span?
Can you repeat that again?
Yes, maybe to clarify, we humans are for the most part in what we call the third dimension of consciousness, and we're evolving rather quickly to the fourth and on to the fifth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In that scheme of things, where would the Arcturians be?
Interesting question that has never been asked of us.
Oh.
We do not look at the energy like you do because we are completely different. But I would say we're probably 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
It will take a long, long time for you people to get to 5th, but it can happen and it will happen. Again, I do not have a timetable. People must change their attitude. People must change their thought. And it's happening. You have more people graduating to the 4th than you think. They are afraid to speak out.
Mm-hmm.
But they're finding out that the 3rd dimension does not work. Where else can I go?
Mm-hmm.
So they listen to somebody and they listen to that person and they hear something on the news or the TV. Even some of the movies are talking about crossing over and not dying, that our energy is raising. So, and it's raising pretty fast, because people want a different way of living. They want a different view of things. They want to be calmer,
Mhm.
and they want to have God in their life without them having to go to church to get God.
Yes.
They just need to sit down in their favorite spot and God is there.
Mhm.
They are learning this slowly, but it's getting there.
Yes. You mentioned, if I understood it and heard it correctly, that when you're physical, you take on bodies for a particular purpose, and when that purpose is achieved, you might move on to something else.
Mhm.
Is that kind of similar to our death, where we lose the body, but the spirit carries on? And
Yes, we learned that a million billion years ago,
mhm.
that we do not have to be physical unless we want to. So we were in spirit, but when you are in spirit, you are still limited. So we decided to create bodies to have more fun and see what it's like. But we also know that the body is temporary. Even on our planet, it is temporary. We don't worry about growing old. We don't worry about getting humongously overweight. We do not worry about whatever illnesses you have.
Mhm.
We don't have those. We have let them go, and we create the body for fun. It's
What would
more
it
for fun, and it can serve a reason if somebody needs to learn a lesson about what it's like to be a little more solid and
Mhm.
be on a planet. And
Mhm.
some of them enjoy it. They do not like being in spirit and going all over it. They do it. They enjoy it just being on that planet.
What would a typical lifespan be for a physical being in our
Oh,
years?
we can, if we choose to, can go hundreds of years.
Uh,
But after a while, you get tired of the body.
mhm.
So you choose to shed it, go back to spirit, and then maybe a couple of hundred years later, you choose to go back to body.
Mhm. You have mates?
Yes, if we choose to.
Mhm.
Yes. Very similar to here. It is fun to be with someone.
Mhm.
And for us, which your planet is learning, it does have to be opposite in what you call sexuality. It can be the same, man
Right.
to man, woman to woman. But we
Mhm.
don't think in terms of I am a woman, you are a man. We think of terms of our spirit is all the same, and we can join spirit. And we choose this body because maybe there's a sport we would like to do, or maybe there is something we can do, and the type of body will serve us better.
Mhm.
It sounds hard for you to imagine, but we've been at this for billions of years.
It
So it
is
is
hard
easy
for
for
me.
us to mingle and then break away, and then mingle again, and then break away. Now, as far as do we still create spirit? Yes. But we ask God to find us a spirit that would like to join us. There are so many spirits out there, so many, billions and billions and billions. So a spirit will join us and become an Arcturian. And they do start out innocent, as you say, and then they learn and grow.
Mhm. How many Arcturians would there be, or is that even possible to count?
That is hard to say because some of our planets are small, some are bigger, some are not occupied. We like to look at them, but there's nothing there to live with. Many are on spaceships, and our spaceships are huge,
Mhm.
just huge. You know, several 100,000 people can live on them, but they're for
Wow.
work. They are for work. and they are special, and they travel around the universe and gather information.
Mm.
And some have come to Earth, but they use a cloak. We do not want to be discovered yet. For if we were, can you imagine the weapons that you own that would come out?
I can imagine, yes. And the
Yes.
panic in the streets. And
So we come and look and we say, look what they're doing now. Can we fix this? No, we do not interfere. But maybe we could put a little something over here that someone can discover and get all excited about, and it will change the minds of scientists. We do that very seldom.
Okay.
And then sometimes we fly back to our homeland. And the Pleiadians are doing the same thing. They come down, we peek around, wonder, can we show ourselves? And they go, no, not yet. And
some of them take on human form, don't they? And they walk around.
Yes, some of us will come down here and actually meld, and it once you have met one of the spirits that has taken on a body, you know that body is not quite, it's not quite correct in the human form. And you will look at it and say, aren't they odd? But it takes a bit to actually blend in with your true human form, with the correct fingers, the correct toes, height of leg, length of arm, shape of head. And they are out there. They are.
When you take on a new role, presumably you're younger. Is there sort of a method of taking care of the young, an education system or anything like that too?
It is different than yours, because when we get a new spirit, we do not look at them as a baby. We look at them as being very young. And yes, they go to school, but not like you go to school. We will have several people teaching one young spirit, and they learn very quickly, very quickly. And they learn adaptation, how to adapt to different things. And here you learn adaptation, but you also must teach them language and math and history and writing and reading, and blah, 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 goes on and on. Our method of teaching is much quicker, much faster, and we are dealing with a spirit that can pick up information very fast. And can pick up not so much information, they seem to just know. And because we speak with telepathically, they can pick up information very, very fast. And the interesting thing compared to yours, they can grow up as quickly as they want to, or as slowly as they want to.
I suppose.
Well, when it is slow, they want to learn something very specific. So they stay young to pick it up, and then they will go faster. We don't have age. We do not look at age as a baby all the way up to an old person. Nobody is old. They've just lived in that body a long time, but they're not old. And maybe a young person says, I don't like this body, I'm out of here. But they take the information with them. They probably go to another planet, or they could go to a spaceship.
And I may have asked this, but I don't recall it. How long would you live in a physical body